welcome to the program, everybody. Almost did not have a live stream today. I'll show you. It doesn't look like a lot, but that's where they super glued my finger shut because I sliced it open.
It does not look like a lot.
It does not. It literally looks like nothing is there. However, it bled all over my bathroom, and I was picking up a razor blade, one of the ones I shave with, and it's the where you put the blade in the actual. It's like an old school razor, I guess is what it is. Okay. And so I went to pick up some garbage on the kitchen or the bathroom sink, and I didn't even realize the blade was in there, and it just went straight into my finger, dude. Straight into it. So they super glued it shut. But now we're here. We're fighting through. Loss of blood and all. Oh, many things to talk about today. Really quick, we do have to mention that the Beard, he's on the road with Tommy Vexed. And coincidentally enough, he is at a play. He mentioned it was in Wisconsin, I think. Yeah, he's in Wisconsin. And the venue that he is at, Shim, was just there 5 days ago. So,
I like Wisconsin. That's a fun state.
I would like to go to Wisconsin. Did you visit there when you lived in Minnesota, Icky?
I did. I went there on a regular basis. They're interesting people. They like to brag about their drinking abilities.
Oh,
even like the football games in Madison, they wear T-shirts that say "Out drinking your state since 1859," and they're not fucking around.
All my Wisconsin knowledge comes from movies from the 90s. That's what's all like.
Wisconsin.
Very happy people.
That and news radio, because that's where Dave was from in news radio, the news director. So, a couple other things. Really quick, though. Coming up we're going to talk about the Waterboy today, Starship Troopers. Frank is going to be taking lead on that one, ladies and gentlemen. So be prepared.
I know words.
To be amazed by Frank. We're also going to talk about Elf. We're going to talk about Dogma. 2 movie drafts tonight. We're doing Emma Stone and Leonardo DiCaprio. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing any Jackbox. We might throw in some Sporkle. I purchased the subscription to Sporkle so that there should not be any kind of a copyright popping up there. I'm assuming that's what was causing that last week. Lan and I were playing games last night, and he and I got sucked into like an hour and a half of Sporkle. It was fantastic. But yeah, so we got that stuff coming up. A couple of other things to make note of before we get to the YouTube weekly polls. I play daily fantasy football now. Like, I don't do the season-long one anymore. So do you guys know how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Real quick, I do the weekly right now, and this last week I lost by 0.08 points. 0.08.
Was it because Sam Darnold took a knee?
No, it was because of
or the Kareem Hunt touchdown?
Because he put
Patrick
Jameis
Mahomes
Winston
on Monday
as his
night.
Quarterback.
Had a 32-point lead, and then Patrick Mahomes goes off and screws me.
Oh, and you mean the refs? The refs help.
Exactly, the refs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's getting rough to watch. The Chiefs just get every single flipping call. But what happened was, with daily fantasy, you can play full lineups with a group of games, or you can play a single lineup of a single game. And that was Minnesota, and who were they playing? I've already blanked on who they were playing this past week.
Saskatchewan.
There you go, from the CFL. So what happened was I play multiple lineups, and I actually subscribe to this one service to where you can easily like set 150 lineups. And I did, and it was 5 cents a lineup. So you're pitching in like $7-8 or something like that. $100 to first place, right? Mm-hmm. I'm in first place pretty much the entire fourth quarter, and the game ends, and I'm excited because it shows that I'm still in first place, and the game is over. It hasn't updated the fact that Sam Darnold took a knee on the final play, and that -1 yard put me in third.
Suck it, dude.
That 1 yard,
so sorry.
I kid you not, that 1 yard cost me $60.
You the guy that then goes to the game and yells at Darnold for taking the knee? And
hell no, man. No, dude, it's that's part of it. It was exciting. So that was on FanDuel. I also play over on DraftKings on that one, because the one on FanDuel was like 1,100 people. So to even take third out of 1,100 people wasn't bad. But then on the other one, I took fourth out of like 5,000 something people. So I was pleased with it. It was yes, I'm a gambling man. By the way, for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's do some YouTube polls here. Let's what's the last one that we did? We're gonna go with what is the best OG slasher flick? Because obviously we were talking about slasher flicks last week. The 4 options I put up there were A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Icky, you get to go first. Which one do you think won this poll?
I'm terrible at this topic. I'm gonna say Friday the 13th.
All right, Frank?
I'll just go with Halloween.
He's going with Halloween, and ladies and gentlemen, Frank gets the point. 51% of people voted for Halloween. Apparently, that's everybody's favorite.
Lee Curtis.
With Jamie Lee Curtis. As you can tell, I was kind of struggling trying to figure out YouTube polls last week because this one was when should Christmas music start? And I just put 2 options: after Halloween, after Thanksgiving. Frank, what do you think won the poll?
It should be after Thanksgiving. I mean, that's just logical, but
do you think that won the poll?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Think it won the poll.
All right, Icky, what do you think?
I think it's after Halloween is what's going to win the poll, even though I agree it should be after Thanksgiving.
Well, Frank gets another point. And not even close, actually. 86% of people voted for after Thanksgiving.
I think there was a time where people were, okay, it's cool, it puts you in the mood after Halloween, but like after 10 years, it's kind of like, hey man, like there is another holiday between Halloween
it's like
and Christmas
Thanksgiving just gets like, how are we going to remember the white man taking over the Native Americans? I mean, that's what we got to do on Thanksgiving, am I right? Isn't that what that holiday's all about?
They let us borrow butter.
Taught us how to grow corn. All right, next YouTube poll.
What is the blankets in return?
What is the best Pixar movie of all time? The 4 options I put up there, and this was there. Obviously, there were even some complaints in the comments of how certain movies should have been included. But the 4 options I put were Inside Out, The Incredibles, Toy Story, and Up. Icky, what do you think won?
My favorite from that is Up. I'm going to say Toy Story won.
All right. Hey, Frank?
Yeah, I think Toy Story is going to be, because that seems to be the most successful franchise.
And you both get the point. Yeah, Toy Story, pretty big runaway there. 64% of the vote.
I've only seen the first one. I've only seen it one time.
They're good. Toy Story movies are definitely worth checking out. And Up, fantastic movie. And although oddly enough, I think my favorite Pixar movies might either be WALL-E or Finding Nemo. Which is odd because I had an Up-themed wedding.
Okay. Did you go up?
We did not. But we did have our wedding at the zoo, which was dope. Because they were like, as people were walking into the reception for the wedding, you had to walk right next to where the lions were at. And so there's all these people that were kind of filming and taking pictures, and you could hear the lions roaring in the background. Like, it was super cool. Next one. Ooh, here we go. What was the must-have gaming system when you were a kid? Now, I'm going to give you the 4 options. Let me know which one you think won the poll, but then also let me, because there's more than 4 that could have been a possibility. So if yours was something different when you were growing up, let me know. But what was the must-have gaming system when you were a kid? I put Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 2, or Xbox 360. I kind of put competing ones there against each other. So, Frank, what do you think won the poll?
I think the poll will probably go PlayStation 2. But mine would have been the Super NES because of just our time period of growing up. That was the one that everybody wanted. So,
I think but you think PlayStation 2 won?
Yeah, but Super NES was the one that everybody
so
wanted.
Generational, you're right. It kind of depends on where, because I was really excited about the Xbox, but I'm going to say Super Nintendo just out of the spirit of competition.
Well, Frank gets the point. It was super close, though. 36. Go ahead.
Nintendo 64 was my most excited. Like, that's the one I was most excited about.
And that's the one that I almost put on there instead of like Sega Genesis or something, because I remember that was always a big one. It was PlayStation 2, and I do remember N64 being huge. And at least for me, and this was as a grown-ass man, getting an Xbox 360 as an adult for Christmas was fantastic. Like,
You know, it was so funny when I got that. It's like by that I hadn't really like I had done the Halo thing on the original Xbox, but I hadn't played games on it. My brother and my dad had got it for me. I think it was in the, like Christmas of '07, and that was like before I started gaming online with you guys. I remember thinking like, well, there's the Halo thing, so I played the campaign, and I was like, I'll try the online. I don't know too much about it, and that's just when I got like back hooked. But I really, it wasn't like I needed it at that time. I just really got it.
yeah, I played a ton of original Xbox, and that was actually my source of entertainment when I first moved to Florida. I didn't have internet. I didn't have cable. I just had a cell phone that would text and call. That was it. This is how old I am. And I had my Xbox. And even when I was living in Eugene, Icky knows, like I had rabbit ears and an Xbox. That was the only stuff I had in my apartment.
Battlefront,
Seinfeld
the old
DVDs.
Star Wars. Yeah, Seinfeld.
Yep. And so PlayStation got 36% of the vote. Super Nintendo got 33%. And then Xbox 360 and then Sega Genesis was the order there. All right, next YouTube poll. What is Matthew McConaughey's best movie? A Time to Kill, Interstellar, Dallas Buyers Club, or Dazed and Confused? Frank, what do you think won the poll?
You know what I was thinking? It would have been funny if like you just like trolled that and went with all like the offbeat ones, like Angels in the Outfield and just a random one to see what people would have
I've
said.
thought
in the
about doing that.
comments.
How to lose a guy in 10 days? How dare
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I know that stuff.
Failure to launch.
Interstellar, you said? I think it's going to be Interstellar.
All right, Frank's going to Interstellar. Icky?
Dazed and confused. Dazed and confused.
Frank, another point.
Dang.
People have that.
48% of people went with Interstellar, 24% with Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I think you should have done like all just the random ones that nobody would have cared. Just
All
that's
right.
all the comments.
And
It was great.
here you can tell when I was really starting to phone it in on these polls because I just could not think of stuff. Do you enjoy the weather getting colder? Yes or no? Honest to God, like I try to put these up by 9 a.m. my time, and I think it was like already 10:15, and I'm already doing like work, like my real job. But in the back of my brain, I'm like, I need to do something. And it actually has gotten cold here in El Paso. We're actually going to be in the 30s at the end of the week.
It's still in the 80s.
So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to put that up as a poll. So Icky, what do you think won the poll? Do people enjoy it getting colder or not? Yes or no?
I'm a scarred individual with the cold. I can't stand it. So I'm going to go with what my answer would be, which is no.
All right. Frank?
Yeah, again, it depends where you live. Like, I think people up north hate it, but people down south, we love it when it gets cold. So I go with yes.
Frank, running away with it. Yeah,
My day.
69% of the people voted for it.
69.
69 dudes. All right, so this next one, because I put the clip that we did last week on the live stream where we were doing a fact versus fiction on Bohemian Rhapsody. I was trying to think of a Queen poll to put up. And I wanted to put up what is Queen's best song, but if I put Bohemian Rhapsody, that's going to run away with it, right? And the one thing I'm getting tired of is one answer constantly running away with with every single poll. So I put, what is the best Queen song of all time, other than Bohemian Rhapsody or We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions? So those are out. Now the four options I put up there were Under Pressure, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Fat Bottom Girls, or Killer Queen. Frank, what do you think won the poll?
Fat Bottom Girls, just because of the time.
All right, Icky?
Killer Queen.
Killer Queen and no, Under Pressure, the song with David Bowie, actually.
I could see that.
40% of the vote, 23% went to Fat Bottom Girls, and then basically a tie between Crazy Little Thing Called Love and Killer Queen.
You know,
Hammer to Fall is my favorite outside of those, the main three.
I like Do You Want to Live Forever? I think
Yeah.
that's
Wasn't that
song.
from Highlander?
I think it was. Yeah, it might have
Because I know
been.
they did the soundtrack to Highlander. The
Who
one
wants
that
to live forever? That's what it is.
the one that I really enjoy is well, there's a couple that I would have put in there, but they were like Radio Gaga. I think is a fantastic song.
Well, the live
yeah.
version of that is the best when he's at Wembley. That's the great. Even at the
And-
end
and,
where he's getting to sing.
Don't Stop Me Now was rated like one of the happiest songs to ever be created.
Oh shit! Did I not even put that? I don't get. Yeah, that should have been on the poll. Son of a gun. Yeah, that definitely should have been on the poll. Because that one, I can't think of that song and not immediately think of Shaun of the Dead now. Because remember that starts playing on the jukebox and they're literally beating the zombie to the beat with the pool cues.
Yep.
All right. It's time to move along here as we get to our first movie draft.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Frank.
Do you know what nuts come from hell?
What nuts come from hell?
Hades nuts.
Oh, your timing is getting better. Emma Stone, born November 6th, 1988. We are doing a movie draft. Frank, as you can see, was in the lead, so Frank will get to pick first. And then Ichabod will go, and then I will go. And I have done almost no prep, and as I was downloading the posters for this, I realized I don't know that many Emma Stone movies. So we shall see how this goes. But Frank, what is going to be your first Emma Stone movie in your movie draft?
I'm probably taking one off of your guys'
I
board,
know
so
what
I'm
you're going to
going
fucking take. I know it already.
Superbad.
God bless it. Yeah, dude. Such a good movie.
I mean, I when that movie came out, like one of my friends were quoting it left and right, and so I think they kind of killed the hype for me because when I finally saw it, it wasn't as funny as like they had hyped it up to be, and I hate when that shit happens.
I could see
But
that.
it's still a really funny and good movie. But yeah,
We
she's
could be
good
the
in it.
Iron Chef of pounding Vaj.
I can still watch that movie today and laugh my ass off. I love that movie.
Hey,
I like
Evan,
when
why
they
don't you
put
go piss your pants again? Dude, that was like 8 years ago, asshole. People don't forget.
People don't forget.
I like when he dumps the detergent out of the bottles and
party?
fills it up with the beer. Yeah. Running down
Oh.
the street, slosh, slosh, slosh.
So it's that I gotta watch that one again. That's such a great movie.
Your name's McLovin.
All right, Superbad's off the board. Ichabod, what's your first one?
That was the first on my list.
I think it was the first on all of our
so
lists.
I'm
Probably.
pretty confident it was. I'm actually going to go down to a rom-com and do Crazy Stupid Love.
That is
Hell.
a good one.
Very funny movie.
I just love Ryan Gosling in that movie. He's fantastic in that movie.
Ryan
Hold on,
Gosling
I
and
gotta
Steve
clip
Carell
that.
are both fantastic in it.
I got Frank saying I love Ryan Gosling.
In that movie, Gosle his nuts.
Let me see here. What do I want to go with? Well, first one I got to go with. Definitely, I'm going Zombieland. That's going to be my first Emma Stone movie. And for number 2, I don't know a lot of her movies, so I will go. You know what? Damn it! I'm going to go with The Amazing Spider-Man.
I was about to say, Spider-Man.
I mean, there's obviously better movies, but
I like
It
that one
wasn't
better
terrible.
than Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was
not good. Although I do like how they made
It's
fun
not
of that.
nearly as bad as 3, though. 3 was terrible.
I do like how they made fun of the Amazing Spider-Man when he fights Rhino, where they're all talking like in
about, I fought a
the three are
rhino.
together and they're talking about like he's like, yeah, I fought an alien, I fought this. He goes, I fought a guy in a rhino costume.
Well, even like they make fun of Jamie Foxx, how he became Electro. He's like, yeah, I fell into a
Yeah,
vat
I
of
fell into a
eels.
vat of eels.
He's, and the other villains are like, no.
All right, Icky, what is your second movie for your Emma Stone movie draft?
I'm going to go with Birdman.
Oh,
Nice.
good pick, good pick.
Michael Keaton.
Oscar winner. All right, Frank, you get to go back to back here now.
Back to back. Back to back. You're right. She really doesn't have a lot. There's only a few that I've seen. Well, I'll go with this one first. It's like a hit or miss with people, and it's kind of hit or miss with me, but Gangster Squad.
Gangsta Squad.
Again, her and Gosling, they apparently seem to just be connected at the hips with movies.
You do love you some Ryan Gosling, huh?
He's an attractive
I don't
dude.
blame you. I think he's great.
Yeah. I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds for his comedy, but Gosling, hey, he can pull some comedy like that dry comedies off, and it's ever seen him on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
Him
yeah.
on the one where they're doing the alien abduction ones, and he cannot
He just loses his
keep
shit.
a straight face. It's some
Alien
of the best.
Abduction one or the Beavis and Butthead one.
Yep.
This last time he was there was fantastic.
All
If
right,
you haven't seen Drive, you got to watch that movie. Fantastic.
Yeah, that is a good. Yeah, I agree.
All right, Frank, what is your third movie for your Emma Stone triple feature?
Man, I haven't seen that one. I can't take it. I'm gonna
Yes,
go.
you can. It doesn't matter.
No, because I don't want to lie to people. I'm authentic. I'm a
So
method
you know the
actor
point here
here.
is you're just building a good triple feature. You're not saying that I've seen
Exactly.
these movies.
No, you're living a lie if you say that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with The Rocker.
The Rocker.
Probably
Another
if
funny
you haven't.
movie.
Yeah, that if people haven't seen that, that's a great movie. An old '80s rocker that was kicked out of the band, trying to become famous again, joins a garage band, and they become as famous. It's really good.
Little Dwight K. Schrute on that one.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can see him running around in his underwear a lot in that movie.
Icky. He does that a lot. He did that in The Office a lot too for some reason.
Maybe he likes to do it. You know, that's his thing.
All right, Icky, what is your third and final movie?
I don't want to go with another Academy Award movie, so I'm going to go with another comedy, which is Easy A.
Oh,
one
so
that
you,
made her.
you were skipping over La La Land.
That's actually not the one I was thinking.
Oh. All right, well, you're
Yeah, that-
going that. So I will go La La Land for my final one because I actually have seen bits and pieces of that.
Frankenstein movie.
And it doesn't matter
I
if
was
I've
thinking
seen the whole
Poor
thing. Or not.
Things, the most
Yeah.
recent.
Yeah, that
for
one,
Academy
dude.
Award winners.
Whoa.
Frankenstein movie.
Talk
You
about.
see her boobies.
Yeah, like hardcore.
She really loved the sex in the movie.
Jeez Louise, man. Some other honorable mentions here. Obviously, we got you got Poor Things right there. She was also in The Help as well.
Yeah, the shit pie.
And another one that I might have gone to because we've seen this multiple times in the house, and my daughter actually went as this for
Cruella?
Halloween.
Yeah.
Cruella. And we were in Disneyland for Oogie Boogie nights, where you can dress up in a costume, and my daughter dressed up as Cruella. And basically, kind of what you do is they shuffle you through these lines, and if you want to make your money back on the ticket to Oogie Boogie, go, because you can make your money back in candy. You end up with so much, like at the end of the night, they have extra. So as you're walking out, they're just handing you handfuls of Snickers and Milky Ways and like all the like Twix, all this candy. And so they shuffle you along, and then they'll have a villain up there that's kind of entertaining you while you're going through the lines. And one of them was Cruella, and they pointed out my daughter, who was dressed up like Cruella. I thought it was pretty fantastic.
Are they
Very
supposed to be making a second movie with her? I thought there was like
Heard that, I
a
think.
possibility.
I do believe so. I do believe you might be correct, sir.
Would it be Cruella DeVille this time?
Cruella DeVille, Cruella DeVille.
That song was so great when I was a kid. Seth Rogen.
Things you did not know about the Waterboy. It was released November 6th, 1998. Had a budget of just $23 million. It made over $190 million at the box office. Quick side note, by the way. So I did a video short about Peter Dante. He actually played the quarterback on the team in The Waterboy, and he was in all of the early Adam Sandler movies. But in 2013, he hasn't been in one since because he had an incident at a hotel and some things happened. Apparently, that video sends people into a weird time vortex where they don't understand time at all. Because between Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, I've had well over 1,000 comments of people pointing out to me that Peter Dante was in Grown Ups 2, so you're wrong about this. The event or the occurrence that happened at the hotel room happened right after Grown Ups 2 came out. I don't think people understand. Grown Ups 2 is over 10 years old. I legitimately think that they believe it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
I can't believe that Waterboy was in 1998. I would never
I
guess it
can't.
was that long ago.
I remember the hype for that movie, and all my friends just Talking about how funny it was in high school.
I remember I saw it in the theater, and this was the first movie I remember the crowd interacting. Like there were like when he was demolishing people on the football field, the audience was cheering like it was a legitimate football game. Like I had never been around that before. It was crazy.
You know what? I didn't recognize the opposing coach was the dude from Smokey and the Bandit for the longest time. I never realized that was him until like maybe about 15 years ago. It finally clicked. It's like, oh.
So one of the original ideas for the movie was to film it in black and white and have it set in the 1950s.
Oh, okay.
Now, Kathy Bates, she read the first 12 pages of the script and she said to herself, "This is a piece of shit," and threw it in the garbage.
That's my boy.
Her niece found the script and then got excited because she saw Adam Sandler's name attached to it. And the niece convinced Kathy Bates to do the movie.
All right. Good on the niece.
Now, the movie was based in Louisiana because Sandler and his friends had previously had a blast at Mardi Gras. So you might think, well, they just filmed it in New Orleans then. Because that's kind of what it seems like Adam Sandler does at this point. He just makes movies to go hang out with his friends at exotic and fun destinations. Well,
it seems like all they do is just it's an ATM for them to go on vacation.
Yeah, like what was it? Just Go With It. They got to go to Hawaii.
Yep. Hawaii.
But yeah, so they didn't actually film this in New Orleans. This was filmed in Florida, Frank's neck of the woods.
I think like around Orlando, right?
Orlando, Daytona Beach, and Lakeland.
Just the three spots.
Well, there was a couple other in there, but I had to bring those ones out because I knew people that I worked with in South Florida that were from Lakeland, and they're just like, it's a shithole. Like there's nothing there.
There's nothing. It's right above Tampa before you get to Tampa, and it's for fishers.
For fishers. So
For fishers.
The filmmakers wanted to have a real bowl game in the movie, but none of them would sign up for it. So they ended up making up the fictional Bourbon Bowl.
Hey, fits Louisiana.
Really, the Bourbon Bowl is a better name than 90% of the bowls that actually
they need to bring that back.
Yep.
Do that again.
And apparently Adam Sandler
sucks.
And Adam Sandler was actually pretty good at football growing up. He won a punt, pass, and kick competition.
Okay.
Which means I do need to show you guys this picture.
Of Andy Reid?
Yeah.
When he was like 12 years old?
Anybody who's never seen this before, you can see the date. It's December 13th, 1971. That is the Kansas City Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid. He's like 12 years old. That kid is just like, they're the same age. And then you wonder why he won the punt, pass, and kick competition.
And you wonder why he's 500 pounds now.
And you also wonder how the Jets were ever 6-2 at one point.
Hey, man, they were doing it. Was it the Sanchez years?
I think that was probably like the Sanchez year where they actually did pretty good. But fumble, absolutely. All right, we're going back to this picture here. Crap. Going back to the...
Crap.
Well, I meant to get better pictures for this, but slicing my finger open kind of put the kibosh on that. So Bobby's father in the movie is played by the director Frank Karachi. And even though Karachi is only 7 months older than Sandler. And finally, the movie was the 5th highest grossing movie of 1998, despite the fact that critics just blasted it. They absolutely hated this movie.
I hate all his movies.
Can you guys name the 4 movies that were above The Waterboy in 1998?
Rush Hour.
I like how confident that was, though.
Austin Powers. I know
Titanic year, or is it Titanic earlier than that?
Hey-oh! Oops! I gave a point to Frank. Means you get 2 points, Icky. So I don't feel like holding the button down to get it to go to a negative one. Yeah, Titanic was number 1.
Your fingers are broken. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were the other ones?
I just forgot the one I just said. Was it I Know What You Did Last Summer? trying to think 98, like what would have been out at that time.
War movie. Saving Private Ryan.
Hey-o!
There you go.
Pick about another point.
98.
Yeah, so that
You
was
have a
number
clue?
one. Number one was Titanic, and number 3 was Saving Private Ryan. If I give you a hint for number 2, you're going to get it right off the bat. Do you guys want the hint?
Yeah, go nuts.
Ben Affleck's giant teeth.
Oh, Armageddon.
Yeah. And then the 4th one, it's a comedy. Trying to give you a better hint.
So there's something about Mary.
Absolutely. Fantastic job right there. All right. So on that note, I'm going to bring this over here because I want to do a
Bring it.
Sporkle. I want to do a Sporkle quiz about Adam Sandler with you guys. I
Like
meant to go
sports.
over all this with you guys before the live stream, but I sliced my goddamn finger off. And by slicing it off, I mean it's still attached and it just got super glued shut.
Yay.
Certain
Let me see here.
Or stitches.
Super glued. They literally just took it's like liquid Band-Aids. They just put it on there. Let me see here. Quick pick. Can you? Oh, there was one. I'll find this one for a future live stream. There was one that I found that was guess the movie based on the name of Adam Sandler's character. There's some that are obvious. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Bobby Boucher. There are others where you're like, I don't remember that name even being in the movie.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Quick pick. Adam Sandler roles. Can you correct movie starring Adam when given his role in the movie? All right, let's give this a roll. You guys ready?
Roll the dice.
All right, so we've got 8 questions here. You guys can see that, right?
Yep.
We don't have to worry about ads because I spent the $44 on Sporkle. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Wait, you
Sonny
spent what on
Koufax.
it?
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Count
Okay.
Dracula. Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania.
Bobby
Yep.
Boucher. The Waterboy. Henry Roth.
That's Uncut
51st Dates.
Gems.
It's not Uncut Gems.
Oh.
Frank.
50 First Dates.
Oh, see,
Was
damn it. Frank. Michael Newman.
Grown Ups.
Nope.
Ooh. Click probably then.
Robbie Hart. Oh,
that's
Wedding
Ready
Singer.
Singer.
Wedding
Yeah,
Singer.
that's Wedding Singer.
This is Uncut Gems, isn't it?
Probably.
No,
I don't
no,
know
Lenny.
now.
That's Grown Ups.
Howard Ratner.
I thought it was Click. Oh, we butchered the crap out of that, huh?
I wish it would tell you like where it went.
Yeah, what the answers were.
I'd like to know how we missed it.
All right. There's your,
$44.
there's your quick, fun Adam
Is that a
Sandler.
month or a year?
What's that?
Is that a month or a year for the $44?
For
A year.
life.
Yeah, it was like $5 a month
NWO.
or $4 a month or like 44 for the year or something like that. And I was like, I'll just do the year. Alan and I spent hours yesterday playing Sporkle. All right, Frank, are you ready? Are you prepared?
I mean, we're like here, man.
You want to say that one more time, Frank? What are we?
So, yeah, we're like here, man.
All right, well, we're talking about Starship Troopers. Frank taking the lead on this one. Starship Troopers was released November 7th, 1997. Had a budget of about $105 million. At the box office, made $121 million. Frank, my good man, tell us some stuff we did not know about Starship Troopers.
One of the things that you might not know, which is kind of interesting considering how the movie went, but 300,000 blanks were used during the shooting of this movie. But there's a thing that I always kind of, when I watched as a teen, remember when they're training in the boot camp and they're shooting lasers?
Yeah.
And they went, instead of using lasers, they went into space with just regular ammunition. It's like, I don't know, it's supposed to be the future and you have this technology to do laser tag, but you can't figure out how to transfer that over to weapons.
Frank found
All right.
a plot hole.
Excuse me on that one. All right. When Starship Troopers came out, it was considered a box office flop. And there were many reasons behind it, but one of it was marketing. They did not know how to market the movie. And I don't know if you guys remember, because you guys, when we were talking earlier, you guys stated what brought you into the movie was the boobies. The one thing that I remember about the movie was
He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, one of the first trailers, I don't know if you guys remember right, they had a song that introduced the movie. Do you guys remember what song that was?
No way.
It was Blur's
Song 2?
Song 2. So yeah, so you had that hype up of the dun 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 dun, and you would have the troopers running out of the back of the dropship to that music and them just blowing crap up everywhere. And everybody thought that that's how the movie was going to be, just gnarly, just running around shooting bugs, and it ended up not being that way. So there was the perception of what the movie was supposed to be and what people thought it was threw people off.
But there were boobies in it.
There were a lot of boobies in it. No 3 boobies though. Same director.
None of the no Total Recall.
No Total Recall boobies. Sorry. All right, the working title for the movie originally was Bug Hunt at Outpost 9.
Interesting.
But it's because they didn't have the rights to Starship Troopers at the time, so they had to just name it what they could before they could get the rights, and then it slowly became Starship Troopers. Also, Johnny Rico there, Mr. Forgot the guy's name now. Who's that actor's name? Casper Van Dien, isn't it?
Casper Van Dien. That screams like Duke University to me.
Yeah.
Right. So originally, Mark Wahlberg was up for the role. Now, can you imagine the troopers running out to pump up the jam?
You know what?
Mark Wahlberg.
I think we could.
Well, they'd also all be a lot taller than him if they did that.
That's true.
In him, the way you got to remember, Wahlberg was just beginning his movie career at that point. He had done a few things, Basketball Diaries, I think the movie Fear, and so he was up for some different roles. But they went with Casper Van Dien, who couldn't act out of a cardboard box, but it worked, which is basically Mark Wahlberg. But I guess they went with the cheaper option. And also, if you didn't know, there is a Golden Girls connection with this movie. That right there, that lovely face that nobody recognizes, is Blanche.
Blanche
from the Golden
Dubois?
Girls. The slut.
It
the
looks
hussy.
nothing like her.
It doesn't.
Yeah, because they maked up her face and just. I remember, I was telling Brandon, I didn't realize it was her until about 15 years ago when somebody said something, and then it's when you rewatch it, you hear the voice and you realize it is. But yeah, there's your Golden Girls connection to Starship Troopers. He was a Nazi professor.
There you go.
And that includes the Did You Know?
We could say,
Troopers.
and that is things that you might not know about Starship Troopers.
Those are things that you might not know.
Everybody give Frank a round of applause.
You missed it last week, Icky. It was a mess.
What was the one you did last week?
What was the one I did last week?
Frank did. What the hell did Frank do last week? Hold on, let me check my channel.
It was messy. That's what we know.
Frank did. What the hell did you do last week?
Bad.
Oh no, it was the War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
He did the War of the Worlds.
It was
broadcast.
so bad.
Or the Tom Cruise one.
No, it was the broadcast.
Yeah, the original. It was the
Orson
anniversary
Welles.
of the original Orson Welles broadcast.
It was so bad I deleted it from my memory and forgot what we did.
I think everybody did.
Oops.
Hold on here.
Hey, but did you know what nuts come from hell?
What? What nuts?
These nuts.
Oh wait, that was the wrong one. Where's my rim shot? That's drummer. Oh, here we go.
You just did it. You just did.
No, that's a drum roll.
Yeah.
That's what you need here. Okay, we're gonna act like we didn't hear that. Go ahead, Frank.
What? The joke. The joke.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
what kind of nuts come from hell?
What kind of
What kind of
nuts
nuts?
come from hell?
Katie's nuts. I'm
Hey,
here
we'll
all
be
week.
here all night, folks. Make sure you tip your waitresses. Try the veal. Waka waka.
Doing a Tonight Show next Thursday.
Things you did not know about Elf. It was released November 7th, 2003. It made a whopping $228.9 million on a budget of just $33 million. Do you guys know who was originally attached to play
Jim
Buddy?
Carrey.
You are correct.
Oh, I just took a guess.
No, that's it. So the script had been in the
Swing for the
works
park.
for more than a decade, and all the way back in 1993, when it was first being shown around Hollywood, Jim Carrey was attached to play Buddy the Elf. Now, this would have been before, this is 93. So no Ace Ventura, no nothing. I mean, he had already been on Living Color, but he had not become the Jim Carrey that we know. He was still James Carrey from In Living Color.
It may have slowed him down from the greatest year of his life, which was 1994.
Yes.
And also, honestly, between him and Will Ferrell, I feel like it would have been much less heartwarming if Jim Carrey
A
was
bunch of
the one.
butt talking jokes.
Yeah, I could see that. And we'll actually get to some of that here throughout this, because there's even in an early version of the script, Buddy leaves to find his dad because he's being bullied by the other elves. But Jon Favreau didn't want to go down that route, so they just made it. He just wanted to happen to go meet his real dad.
He was still kind of not bullied, but he was at least pressured into leaving because he wasn't a good elf.
Well, yeah, he kept destroying shit.
Was he bullied by the kid from A Christmas Story? Because that would have been reversed.
That's true.
What
The
happened
kid
to
from
the
A
kid
Christmas
in A
Story
Christmas
was
Story?
in the movie, but there was also a hockey scene that
Yeah, I've seen
that didn't make the final cut of the movie, where it's just Buddy out there wrecking shop,
Reckon-
dude.
Yeah, he's just running over the little elves left and right.
Now, Gimbel's was an actual department store, but it closed its doors back in 1987. Macy's, Gimbel's former rival, was used for all the department store scenes. Oddly enough.
Okay. And now Macy's is gone.
Yeah. And the stressful look on Buddy's face while he's testing out all the Jack in the Boxes, that was pretty much legitimately real stress for Will Ferrell, because Jon Favreau had a remote
Ah,
that would trigger it, and he would just wait for the right moment to set it off to freak out Will Ferrell, because he wanted authentic reactions out of him.
all right.
Now, the burp. Oh, I didn't get a picture of that. I should have done that. The burp when he chugs the soda.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? That scene? So that is a real burp, but it's not Will Ferrell. It's actually Maurice LaMarche, better known as Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
All right. Good cartoon.
Which, if you compare how that burp sounds to all those burps that you would hear in shows like Animaniacs,
Right.
you can hear the similarities. You can tell that it's that dude doing it.
Now, do you know what Will Ferrell was actually drinking in that scene?
No,
There's no way it was
Vegan
Coca-Cola.
water.
I can't imagine to be able to get that down that fast and not throw up. There's a challenge.
mean-
That's another challenge that we got to do. We got to bring that up. See if we can do that. Chug
20
a 7
years
Up.
ago, I probably could have done that.
A full 2-liter though?
No,
yeah.
no. I would do just like just a bottle.
1 liter maybe.
Yeah.
No, I chugged almost a gallon of milk one time and didn't puke when I was like in my teens. I think I could have handled the Coke.
We
It
need
might
to
not have, like an hour later, it might have been bad, but I think I would have been all right for a bit there.
We need to get Frank that. What's the ginger ale that you love that comes around every season? The cranberry one.
Oh, the cranberry. Yeah, we've already. Yeah,
Look how excited he just got.
that's good.
Frank loves the cranberry ginger
Love
ale.
that
For anybody who
stuff.
wants to get him a Christmas gift.
They sell them at Costco. You get blueberry ginger ale too.
And finally, if you're hoping for a sequel to Elf, it ain't going to be happening as long as Will Ferrell has anything to say about it. He's reportedly turned down millions and millions of dollars for sequels because he doesn't want to squeeze into those tights anymore, and he just isn't sure where the story would go. So he's not going to do it.
Such a classic movie. Leave it alone.
He could be Santa Claus
Ooh, here we go.
because Santa died. Spoilers.
It's true.
Yeah.
That would go over well. Sanitize.
Fill his shoes. Let's look
I
up.
mean, he dies in a Santa Claus, and Tim Allen takes over. So let's knock off a few more.
Let's try
That's
out
true.
Will Ferrell.
I didn't see Elf in theaters. I remember people again talking about that. But I remember seeing the Santa Claus in
crap.
theaters as a kid.
Both good movies.
Let's see here. We got Will Ferrell roles. Can you pick the movie starring Will Ferrell when given his character? You guys want to try that one? Do you want to do?
Let's go nuts.
Sure.
Or we could do. No, I don't want to do the Will. We could do Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler, but that would probably be too easy.
Let's do the roles. Why not?
I don't know. We didn't do well with the Adam Sandler one.
That's true. All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2,
Shoot from the hip.
1. Ron Burgundy, Anchorman.
Yeah, that's right there.
Is that Zoolander?
Got to. That's Zoolander. Yeah.
Buddy the Elf?
Elf. Yeah.
Lord Business. Oh, Lego Movie, right?
Gotta be.
Frank the Tank, old school.
Yep.
Harold Crick is, I believe, Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, it is.
Great movie, by the way.
That is a great movie.
Mustafa, he is in Austin Powers. And then you have Chaz, Michael Michaels,
yeah.
Blades of Glory. Nailed it in 31 seconds. Eat it.
Yeah, Stranger Than Fiction. I saw that. I think maybe not in theaters, maybe when it came out. But that's he did a really good job in that movie. He was trying to do the Jim Carrey serious stuff and then just gave up.
He's had a few of the serious ones that aren't bad. Everything Must Go is a good watch.
Well, like he did Stranger Than Fiction, and like I think it was in that same time period that he did Land of the Lost. And so I think it was that kind of like, I don't know if it was before or after, but Land of the Lost was so trash. I remember seeing that one in theaters and just like at the end of it going, I wasted money on this crap.
I do remember watching Stranger Than Fiction and thinking like that was it. I'm glad I watched it. Like it was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Things you did not know about Dogma. Released November 12th, 1999. It had a budget of $10 million. Made $44 million at the box office. And coincidentally enough, I do remember watching this in the theater because the fire alarm went off in the middle of the movie. And we got a free movie out of it. And all they did was like sign the ticket that just said, hey, you get a free movie. So my buddy and I, when we went back and watched another movie later that weekend, they didn't take the ticket.
Oh, we got another one.
So we kept getting free movies because the fire alarm went off in the middle of Dogma.
Nice.
Now, even before Clerks, Kevin Smith started writing notes for a movie that he was going to call God. Now, if you want to look at one main character, who do you think was kind of the main person that Kevin Smith had in his brain from the get-go?
As God?
No, just for this movie in general. Like of all the characters that are in it.
I would guess it's Affleck.
I was going to go with Alan Rickman.
You would both be wrong.
Yeah.
It was Rufus.
Chris Rock.
Oh.
It was the 13th Apostle. Because that was one of the first stuff that he wrote. And then while he was working on Clerks, Smith continued to kind of write down ideas. The main character was going to be a high school jock. The 13th Apostle, Rufus, was also going to be in there. And then you also had the muse of Serendipity.
I am Alan Rickman.
One more time, Frank.
I am. Now you made me laugh. It just came out of nowhere.
Well, because he's coming up next.
Yeah. I am Alan Rick. I can't do it now.
No, you're supposed to go, Mr. McLean.
It's
gone.
Apparently,
Alan Rickman was a huge Chasing Amy fan. So Kevin Smith approached him about playing the Metatron. And Rickman had 2 questions for him about the script. Would they stay faithful to the script? And were the wings real or CGI? And he ended up...
wings real.
Well, Alan Rickman being in the movie... See, this is where we just need to stumble on Frank's random ass impressions that he does.
I really like Jay. Can I be his friend?
Well, it's great that you bring that up because Alan Rickman being in the movie... By the way, Frank doesn't know the script. Frank is totally shooting from the hip here. So the fact that he's getting this stuff is great. So him being in the movie really got Jason Mewes to shape up and put forth like an actual effort in this movie because he had the whole thing memorized because he did not want to anger Alan Rickman.
Yeah. I
Now,
can see that.
When Bartleby and Loki are in the gun store, you can actually see Ben Affleck. He pulls his hand away really quick while he's playing around with a knife. It's because he actually cut his hand.
Oh, he pulled a U.
He pulled a me. As you can see, I got my little super glued finger right there.
I bet they used super glue then too.
They maybe. And this is the one when I was talking to Icky and Frank before we were getting on to do the live stream today. This is the picture that I found. I love this scene because he's like, yeah, we just met Jay and Silent Bob. Jay says you're gonna sleep with him. I love Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in this movie. I absolutely love both of them. I mean, the whole movie in general is fantastic, but Matt Damon's this is top-notch stuff right here. Do you guys know who Kevin Smith wanted to direct Dogma?
Tarantino.
You are freaking close, dude.
Oh.
Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk about, you
interesting.
can't get closer to Quentin Tarantino than Robert Rodriguez unless you're talking like Uma Thurman or something. But yeah, so he approached Robert Rodriguez about directing it. But Rodriguez, when he read the script, he saw how personal it was. So he recommended that Smith directed himself. So he didn't do it. And finally, the role of Loki was supposed to go to Jason Lee. I'm glad it didn't, because him as Azrael is just, again, it's such a good movie.
Smurfs?
What's that?
The cat from Smurfs?
The cat, yes, the cat from Smurfs, Azrael.
Good to know.
Or what was Chris Kattan's character when they would do goth talk? I'm Azrael Abyss. Remember that one? So Loki was supposed to go to Jason Lee, but scheduling conflicts made him take the smaller part of Azrael in the movie. Those are things you probably did not know about Dogma.
If you haven't seen Dogma, you gotta watch it. That's such a fantastic movie.
And so there was a big hullabaloo recently about it being finally released on, or basically Harvey Weinstein doesn't control it anymore. Like Kevin Smith bought the rights back.
Right.
But
it was released after a certain court ruling where they were allowed to take it back.
And if you really want to see it, just look it up on YouTube. There's at least
it'll be on streaming soon. Give it time.
Yeah, but if you want to watch
it for
it
a while, they hadn't printed it on DVD or any kind of actual hard copy in so long that they were going for like $250, $300 online.
I remember I thought I borrowed it from a friend, and it was one of those DVDs that had like the sleeve that went on the top. And in my DVD collection, I always had that sleeve sitting there, thinking I never gave him his movie back. And one night, I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch Dogma. It was just the fucking sleeve. I had returned the movie back to him. I was so pissed. All right.
Stuck on the Smurfs now. No, because yesterday randomly.
If you're going to be stuck on the Smurfs, you got to talk about the Smurfs as Alan Rickman.
So yesterday I was learning about the Smurfs. And did you know there was a controversy in the 80s about the Smurfs?
There you go, Mr. McLean.
I'm trying to remember. But so, no, there was actually, I guess they had been around since the 60s or 70s from, I don't remember if they're from Norway or they're like a Norwegian or whatever. But they did this story with the Smurfs where they had these Smurfs get sick. And it was supposed to be like the plague.
Belgian, by the way.
Belgium. Okay. But in that version of it, the comic, they were black. And they had these really goofy looking teeth. And when you look at it, it looks really racist. It looks like something from
blackface?
Yeah, like colonial period or And so the Smurfs in the 80s they wanted to do that story, but they didn't want to make the Smurfs black, so they made them, they made them purple.
Purple Smurfs.
And they didn't give them,
original French title, Les Schlumps Noirs.
Yeah, they didn't give them the crazy face, but I think you can still find the black Smurfs toys and stuff out there that are sold. But I mean, you can see why they went away from it in America because it looks racist.
Hey, I just found out there's a whole subreddit called Accidental Racism because there's a whole thread about these blackface Smurfs on accidental racism. All right, you guys ready? It's final topic.
We are ready.
Here we go. Leonardo DiCaprio, now Oscar-winning Leonardo DiCaprio, by the way. He was born on November 11th, 1974, so we are going to do a Leonardo DiCaprio movie draft. We're essentially drafting the ultimate Leo triple feature. And Frank got to go first earlier, so Icky, you will get to go first this time. Then Frank will go second.
Yay,
and I will go
okay.
third. So,
All
Ichabod,
right.
what is your first Leonardo
Threw him off.
DiCaprio movie?
He wasn't thinking he was going to
I wasn't ready for number
Yeah,
one.
look at
I
that.
thought I was going to lose my. Okay, so I'm going to go
Oh, here,
for
if
my
it makes
very
you feel
first
better.
one.
I'll give you a few more points.
Catch Me If You Can.
Good movie.
Number one.
Not based on true events, but good movie.
Great movie.
That was something I found out as I was, researching videos and things like that. The guy that this is based on, he's full of crap. The guy made up all of that stuff.
He's a con artist. What do you expect?
Yeah, so the whole, him being an airline pilot and faking that stuff, not true. Like it says here, the true story of a real fake. No, it's a fake story. Like the guy made up all the stuff. But it's a good movie.
Then he is a real fake, so it's still kind of,
True.
They made their own story out of it.
That's very meta, if you will. All right, Frank, what's your first pick for Leonardo DiCaprio?
All right. Since you went with that one, I will go with Gangs of New York.
Ooh, that's a good movie with Mr.
Bloody
Daniel
movie, but
Day-Lewis.
Fantastic movie. Mr. Scorsese. Scorsese.
Really long movie,
Brutal
too.
movie.
You know what
Great
really
movie.
freaks me out about that movie is when he takes the knife and he taps his eye.
Yeah,
He's trying to show
yeah.
it's a glass eye, even though it's like, oh, that's fake. It's like, dude,
Yeah, that's still, oof.
let's keep the knife away from the fake eye.
All right, well, you guys get those two. My first pick, I am rocking and rolling with Ludes, baby. We're going Wolf of Wall Street. I love this freaking movie. He did such a good job in it. That Lude scene where he can't get out off of the front stoop. Not sure I've laughed harder, but that is a fantastic scene. All right, so I am taking the Wolf of Wall Street, and then for Leonardo DiCaprio, I got a couple of different things.
So many to choose from. It's hard.
I'm between two right now. I'm going to go with Don't Look Up.
All right.
Have you guys seen this?
That's a
No,
great
but
movie.
I'm aware of it.
It will make you very upset about how pretty much politics shuns science, because if it's not in line with them getting votes, they don't care.
It can't be viral, and it's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's also kind of a weird dynamic where the hero becomes the villain for a minute and then goes back to being the hero.
Yes. Yeah, it's highly recommend. If you haven't seen this, go check it out. It's on Netflix. All right, Frank, what's your second Leonardo DiCaprio movie for your triple
I'm
feature?
gonna go with this movie. Was a complete mind fuck for me. I'm gonna go with Inception.
Ooh.
That movie's really good, and it is a wild ride. The concept and everything.
That's a wild
That's one of those
ride.
movies that as soon as I got done watching it, I was like, I have to watch it again because I'm not really sure what just happened.
Yep. That tends to happen with Christopher Nolan movies. All right, Icky, you get to go back to back, my man.
Mind fuck.
All right, so I'm gonna go for the next one, Django Unchained.
Oh, see, that was the other one. I was between Don't Look Up and Django Unchained.
And then for my third,
He's
Yeah,
doing
actually,
Titanic.
oh, I'm doing The Beach.
Oh, dude,
Beach.
I was kind of hoping that one would fall to me at number 3 because I love that movie. I think it's a great movie. Oddly enough, because when I try to get all these pictures, I just go to like Rotten Tomatoes or something, so that all the movies are listed there, so I know what I'm getting. And this one only is at like 23% or something like that.
It's one of his lowest rated movies, but I think it's fantastic. And there's 5 other movies on my list to choose from, but that's one that I like fell in love with the first time I saw it.
All
I
right,
think
I'm
it was
glad
because
you
it was
went
the
with
movie
it.
after Titanic, and there was all the hype, with him from Titanic, and it wasn't.
And there
I
are
think
some really weird scenes in it, but
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
The only thing I remember about it is when the Swedes are in the water and one of them gets bit by the shark,
Yeah.
and they're pulling him out and his leg's gone.
They just abandoned him out in the woods. so
Yeah,
they
they
don't
just
feel
he's
bad
like,
about it. Yeah.
help me.
How'd that go? Wait, do it as Alan Rickman.
Oh, I can't do it at all.
He tried.
It was a good effort. It was a good
Oh,
effort.
no.
All right, Frank,
I
what
like
is your
this.
third Leo movie?
Yeah, I was doing the impression earlier, but I'm gonna go with The Quick and the Dead.
Ooh, little Western flick.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And spoilers, the sex symbol dies.
Whoa,
So,
I haven't
ladies-
seen it.
Oh, well, you don't know what sex symbol. There's a lot of guys in it.
It's Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
He's
he
your
was
sex
a sex
symbol.
for a minute there. I mean, for some women, he might be.
All right, now I got to figure out what
Everyone's
I'm
got
gonna.
their king.
I got to
Could've
figure
been
out what the
Sharon
hell I'm
Stone.
gonna pick for my final.
There's
Oh,
so
well,
many
Russell
left.
Crowe's in there. It could have been Russell Crowe.
Speaking of, no, I was thinking not Russell Crowe. I was thinking of what's his face, Colin
Kurt
Farrell.
Russell?
No, I randomly was thinking of Colin Farrell when you said Russell Crowe because I heard that movie, the TV show Penguin, is really really stinking good.
Oh,
and
it's so good. You got to
Is
watch
it?
it. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
all right,
I'm a big Colin Farrell fan, but that's just you don't even know it's him watching it.
nice. All right,
Oh,
so
fuck.
some honorable mentions in here for Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio. Of course, we have What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Gilbert.
We have Titanic.
I'm not surprised none of us picked that one.
Oh, you're supposed to say Gilbert after every movie, Frank.
Gilbert.
God, I really
Don't
don't.
drown, Gilbert.
I don't know what I'm gonna pick for my last one. There's also there's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
Fantastic, fantastic ensemble and movie.
Gilbert, get your flamethrower.
I really like this generation of Quentin movies because he like recreates how history actually happened.
Yep.
Like with that and Inglourious Bastards.
Yep.
Love it.
This one gets a lot of hate, but I think I liked it. I really do like this Romeo and Juliet. I like the. Do you bite your thumb at
agree.
me? I do bite.
Yeah,
I do not. I do bite my thumb, but I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. He's all.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that? That was Gilbert Grape.
No, that was him
Gilbert!
biting his thumb. Oh, whatever. You're gonna get us canceled. We also have the Basketball Diaries. We're gonna go through these. You got the Aviator. You've also got.
I love that movie.
Shutter Island. Great Gatsby, oddly enough,
Ghost
rated
Gilbert.
pretty low as well on Rotten Tomatoes. But the one that I'm gonna go with,
It didn't deliver what people thought it was going to be. Really.
the one that I'm gonna go with for my final one. Frank, do you know what it is?
I'm
Had
guessing
it
The
in my
Departed.
head. Yeah, that's what I was
You guys
thinking.
got it.
But
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Departed. I think
Gilbert,
it's like
let's
the
go be
third time.
cops.
I think it's like the third time I've chosen The Departed.
I think it is.
Well,
Such a great movie, though.
I picked it for, was it Matt Damon?
Yep.
I think that was it though.
Unless we did.
I'll
Jack
probably pick it
Nicholson.
again, and I'll probably pick it again when we do Mark Wahlberg, and I'll probably pick it again when we do Jack Nicholson.
We're gonna do Mark Wahlberg.
There'll be four right
Well,
there.
And you could do a whole series on things you didn't know about Jack Nicholson's performance in this movie because he went so rogue on it.
Yeah, I did.
With his really crappy accent.
Well, one of the scenes you can see him where he does the whole rat scene that when he comes back for the cigarette, like he wasn't supposed to be in that scene, but he just decided to come back into it because you can even tell DiCaprio's kind of thrown off by him being there.
He also wasn't supposed to have a gun. He also wasn't supposed to have blood on his hands in that scene. Like he just did what he wanted to do.
Yeah, there was the scene where they take the guy out to the mash, and he shoots him. Like apparently he was just supposed to walk away, but he helped kind of rewrite that whole scene because he's like, this isn't what would happen. This is what would happen. So I guess he did it.
Oh, he
So-
felt funny.
Yeah.
Now look.
So
he
our,
felt fine.
I think that was what it was too. Is that he made that
Or she
comment where
felt
he was
fine.
like he would make a snarky comment like that, which is what he did. So our triple features: Icky's got Catch Me If You Can, Django Unchained, and The Beach. Frank has Gangs of New York, Inception, and The Quick and the Dead, and I have The Wolf of Wall Street, Don't Look Up, and The Departed. But on that note, before
Departed.
we wrap things up, how about we do a real quick Leonardo DiCaprio Sporkle quiz?
Porkle.
Let me see what we got
Like
here.
a
We
couple?
have there's just movies. Let me see if I can't find one that. Let's go here.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Can you match the name of each historical figure with an image of Leonardo DiCaprio portraying them?
Holy crap. No.
Can you pick the
hard.
correct movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio when given his role in the movie?
Sure, why not? That's what we've been doing, isn't it?
It's true. All right, let's give it a crack here. Are you ready? It's 8 again. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Jack Dawson, Titanic.
Oh, that's Titanic.
Howard Hughes, Aviator.
Aviator.
Dominic Cobb.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Jordan Belfort. Oh, that's
Wolf of Wall Street.
Teddy
Yep.
Daniels.
No idea.
That's Shudder, right?
Billy Costigan's The
Costigan
Departed.
is Departed.
Parted.
That's
Frank
Catch Me If You
Abagnale
McNeil
Can.
is Catch Me If You Can.
Yep.
Uh-oh. So it's these
That's
three.
Django Unchained. Django Unchained.
It's down to these two.
Dominic
We got Dominic
has to
Cobb
be-
or Teddy Daniels.
Dominic.
Say Teddy Daniels for Shutter Island.
Oh!
Yeah. Inception, Gilbert. You go in people's dreams.
And on that note, that does it for this week's live stream. We're going to have more stuff coming up next week. We might get to some Jackbox. I'm not really sure. We're going to start incorporating these Sporkle quizzes and stuff. So make sure that you guys are being involved, checking some stuff out. 3 videos drop every single day: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and over on TikTok as well at the Real Brandalorian. Don't forget, you got the Icky Life going on as well. Icky, you got a new podcast coming out?
I've been so busy recently. I haven't had time.
So, but we're going to start getting some content for Icky. So make sure you go follow him. It's at the Icky Life, right?
Yes.
All right. So go make sure that you're following Icky as well. Frank is like Sharple's fart stuff or something like that. It's like Sparkle Farts.
I could make money off my farts like some of those women do. But, you know.
Frank could sell them in a heartbeat, let me tell you, folks. But yeah, so make sure you guys are following us on all the things. Make sure that you guys are liking and subscribing when you're here on the channel. And then also every single day I take out these topics that we do, and then I put them up separately, things you didn't know or the movie drafts and stuff like that. Go back and rewatch those because it helps the algorithm on the channel, and it helps kind of YouTube realize that, oh, people want to watch this stuff. So the more that you guys do that, the better. But on that note, have you guys a fantastic rest of your week. I'm going to be in Austin coming up this weekend watching me some college football, not the Longhorns. My wife goes to class, and I sit in the hotel room and watch college football, and it's amazing. I love it.
Go Ducks.
And then and they play at 4 Pacific.
4 o'clock against Maryland. We're going to kick their ass.
And, well, this will be the down game that they lose. Hopefully not, but we'll see.
No.
But on that note, have you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. And this is where it's not going to stop streaming. Watch.